You mentioned some of use cases, different use cases, and some of ways to interact that might be different. Can you give me a couple of examples of what you're thinking about?
Sure. So, with the existing ABCI interface, the way Consensus Engine was interacting with the application was pretty much that once block is formed, it is being sent to the application in a serialized way, and then application execute this sequentially. This is how deterministic execution was taken care of. But application was not having really a good way to inform what is the content of the block, or to try to do any sort of optimization in parallel with consensus execution. So ABCI++ come with a slightly different set of API. And so first it allow Consensus Engine to propose or what we call prepare proposal, where the set of transactions from the mempool before being proposed as a candidate in consensus are being pushed to the application. And application has essentially full freedom to modify, delete, even add transaction. And only then after application essentially respond, the consensus proceeds. And this is being proposed. On a reception side, before participants vote for a block which is being proposed, they also consult in a process proposal API, they also consult application and give application chance to validate transactions. And then only if there is sort of everything is fine, we proceed. And so the kind of trivial consequence of this is that you cannot have a block full of crap, which is currently possible, as essentially the original Consensus Engine care most about just that we are agreeing on the same thing consistently. But how, what we put there, and also if application wants to reorder stuff, that was not really available. And there was some idea with prioritized mempool to give some flexibility to application, but we never really managed to see this as a kind of interesting and viable option in production. That's sort of one kind of basic example. The other one is that instead of serially submitting transaction, there's a only finalized block now as sort of the API at the end of consensus execution, where you essentially give a freedom to application to execute transaction potentially in parallel. And this is the part where I was saying that now it's more on developer to be careful, as parallel execution will still need to be deterministic. And now, as also with the prepare proposal, application will be aware of the block candidate, application developer can start optimistic execution in parallel while ordering. And so this will, as in most of the application, to the best of my knowledge, Consensus Engine is not bottleneck. This will be super cool, because you can sort of start doing and processing stuff while consensus is progressing. And before a block is finalized, you can already essentially prepare the new state. And then when you see decision, then you can instantly finalize block.